EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Hold the stick.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
16-yard line.
Got it. Ready? Come 19. Come 19. Shouting on Grosso. Dragon 60.
To throw, Huntley. This is Smith with the ground. The 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here comes Marquez Stevenson now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start the drive with Cook. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. This defense for the Saints, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
18 Riley, 18 Riley. Panther 11, Panther 11.
Here's Huntley. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Von Miller in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bills take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys. But you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Huntley to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back in the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rip, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air, Allen. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. They run it again with Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Ready, break.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Here we go.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Kamara up the middle. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And 3 yards on the carry there as this defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Stevenson now is going to bring this out. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On second down, Cook. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Still 9 remaining on second down. Here's Cook again. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Allen on third. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. But that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On first and 10, Huntley back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
The Saints at 7-5 now of the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here we go, 79 Broncos.
And the tight end goes in motion left.
Dragon 60.
Looking to throw on second down. Huntley. A quick one here, hauled in by Kamara. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. Give him 18 on the play.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
18 running. Tampa 11.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz.
Let's go now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
70 Rangers.
Back to throw. Huntley. That's complete to his running back, Kamara.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Buffalo 18. Warriors 17. 19 Lions. 60 Bearcats. 60 Bucks. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates.
Operating from the gun. Huntley. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Bills are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before half for Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this 3rd quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Diggs in motion left. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run it again with Cook. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Diggs in motion left. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Cook running right. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 26. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Play action. Now it's Allen. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
18, 5 in. 19 tight, 19 tight. Mustang 19.
To throw from his end zone. Huntley. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Trap 50, trap 50. Cut 19, cut 19.
To throw on 2nd down. Huntley. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Kamara off the draw. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
79 Broncos. Dragon 60. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Buffalo 18.
To throw on 3rd down, Huntley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fake here, direct snap to the up man. And he will not make it. They stop him short of the first down. So a definite surprise there. They try to fake punt, but This time it's going to blow up in their face, CD.
Yeah, it certainly has. And look, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trailing right now, probably trying to generate some momentum. But that felt like one of those go-for-broke type of a plays in a situation where I don't know that they needed to do that. They still have opportunities, and in this case, they took a chance, and it backfired.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Again, it's Cook. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 37. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
Alert, alert, alert!
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Bills' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Diggs in motion left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Diggs in motion left. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 86 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up the key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Cook up the gut. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. And now they'll throw with Allen. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you got to call that both ways.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On second down, Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number one stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Allen. And complete right side to Cook. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it fourth down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Bit of a pressure spot here for Tyler Bass. This will get the lead up to 7. The kick by Bass is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
19 Lions.
Huntley. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
60
Now Huntley. Complete. Smith has it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Here's Huntley. Goes right back to Smith again. And he'll be brought down at the 27. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
19 tight. 19 tight. Left wing 19.
Back to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
A 6-yard pickup.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
At the 21-yard line.
He's back to throw.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Cut 19. Cut 19. 79 Broncos. Dragon 60.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
It's a loss of 9. Now 2nd and goal at the 18-yard line.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. In motion comes the tight end left.
18 Radley. Panther 11. Panther 11.
Back to throw. And he's got it. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Come on.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
They'll look to throw, and this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And they do not get it. It's incomplete. They went for the win, and the big gamble does not pay off. So they'll line up for the onside kick. 18 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
And look at this. The punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's second down. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity.